Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Super excited about this one today. Such an awesome book. Cannot wait to share it with you. Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man Artist Edition from IDW. This is one humongous mother. Can you tell? Oh my god, it's so huge. This is like ridiculous. The artist editions are always big, but this one is even bigger, and look how thick it is. And it's got this gorgeous black and white original McFarlane art on the spine. I love the font that they used here. I love the colors. I think it looks great. I love the black. Like, it's really such a bold design, and it looks fantastic. IDW's artist editions are always beautiful, and I was super excited when this was announced because, I'm such a huge fan of Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man, so I cannot wait to get into this. So, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and let's get right into it.
FitzTroytv. Comic book art critiques. Snark, pizza, and sarcastic ways. Representing geeky gaze. Aliens, comics, rule the day. Hurry up and turn that page. Michael FitzTroy.
Okay, so artist editions, in case you don't already know, are the closest you will ever get to holding original comic art in your hot little hands via IDW Publishing, the great publisher. I recently interviewed Chris Ryall, a great interview, a lot of insight. Planning to talk to Scott Dunbier soon, so I have a lot of questions for him. I'm kind of glad that I got this book first, so I can ask him about it because it is the latest. They also have recently announced Kevin Nolan, Marvel Superheroes, and also a Michael Golden that's sporting this really amazing X-Men cover. I think it was originally from a book called X-Men Companion, which are great books, volume 1 and 2. So let's get into this. So the artist editions have, are scanned from the original art. So, none of the, you can see the blue lines of Todd's, underdrawing, and you can see it's a little yellow. So this is the actual art. This isn't like a photo stat where we're just lifting the black inks to be colored or whatever. This is all the nooks and crannies, all the, elements, literal elements, fingerprints, perhaps, coffee stains, if we're lucky. Just fun stuff like that. Like I said, it's the closest we'll get to holding it in our hands. And unless you're one of the rare lucky collectors, maybe someone who contributed to this book, it's really quite amazing putting these books together. They have to do sort of like a call to arms for people to willing to, donate their scans or donate their art to be scanned for these books. So it is so cool. Chris said that Scott likes to have complete issues, but I'll take what I can get. I think that's the difference between an artist and a artifact edition. Yeah, I think the artist edition contains complete issues, but we'll see. Maybe it's just the artifact edition, because I'll be surprised if there's a full issue of Spider-Man in here. Gorgeous end papers. Spidey versus the Hulk. Amazing. I feel like Todd McFarlane really came into his own on the Hulk. I've been a McFarlane fan for a mighty long time. I loved his stuff on Infinity Inc. and a few things here and there he did at DC, like that Invasion miniseries. And then he jumped ship to Marvel, did Hulk, and just he had a lot of potential, at DC, with the Infinity Inc. Look how gorgeous this is packaged, and just I love the way it's put together. They always win Eisner Awards. They always deserve them. These are amazing. IDW, Scott Dunbier pretty much puts these together. Little special thanks. I imagine those are the people who donated the art. A little thesaurus here. Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man's Artist Edition is part of an ongoing series dedicated to showcasing extraordinary artists in a format as special as their work deserves. I agree. Like, this is like museum quality stuff. Now, this is interesting, and you'll note, okay, so these are larger than the normal artist editions. Most artist editions are like 11 by 17 or whatever, because original comic art used to be always 10 by 15 with, like, you know, like the border making it 11 by 17, the original art boards. So Kirby did what they call twice up, which is like time and a half, I guess, for the size of the boards, which would give you something, like, see how it's not going to all the way to the edges. And at first I found I didn't like that, because I was like, oh, all this negative space, it's making the art look smaller. But that effect goes away once you dive into the art, and then you'll see why, a very important reason why it's happening, because later in the book he does the art larger and twice ups, and totally worth it. So Todd McFarlane pencils, Bob Mcleod inks, Rick Parker. Well, I don't need to do all these, but, you know, the most important thing is the art. Although, hats off to Rick Parker too. I really do love his letters. I feel like he brought a lot to the plate and was a good, you know, letterer for McFarlane's style, art style here. Don't miss Marvel Age Magazine. Interesting. Now, Bob Mcleod, I love his finishes, but he's a very sort of heavy-handed finisher. Like, he's always bringing a lot of his look to it. And I feel like, I don't know. You know, it's interesting. I can't remember if Terry Austin ever inked McFarlane, but I feel like that would have been a great choice for matching, you know, McFarlane's sort of detail. I mean, look how cool this Spawn, or not Spawn, but this Venom page is here, and it would be so much cooler if McFarlane had inked it himself. I know that it's just no slight to any inker. I love Bob Mcleod. I mean, New Mutants is amazing. You know, I sang his praises in other videos, but, you know, you just instantly look at it and I think Bob Mcleod, you know what I mean? So we're moving on to McFarlane inking himself. This is so cool. I love this. It's so horrific. It's like Venom is, you know, very much sort of a horror character in a way, if you think about it. I mean, could you imagine that slithering into your bedroom when your husband's out swinging around on webs and saving people and shit? That is so cool. I love seeing McFarlane draw the black costume. I mean, I'll take any McFarlane Spider-Man. Although I do have to say, like, I kind of prefer, you know, his, the aesthetic he brings to the red and blue. I call it red and blue. It looks blue to me. It's supposed to be black, and that blue part is supposed to be highlights, but tomato, whatever. I mean, it looks blue, right? Love this effect. Like, I feel like this is, I wonder if Michael Golden started that. I know that Art Adams definitely took off with it. People like Liefeld copied it, and it's like such a stable launch from this period. It's tantamount to like Kirby Crackle. Ed Piskor refers to it as the screen door, which I think is hilarious. And sometimes, you know, like Art Adams would be doing a tighter screen door, I feel, because, you know, he's the most detailed, tight artist. Where is the frickin', and these are questions I have for you, Scott Dunbier, so be prepared. Where is the Art Adams? Could you imagine, guys, an Art Adams X-Men artist edition? I mean, are you, like, chills, right? You're gagging, I know, right? This is so cool. I love Eddie Brock dressed up as, like, in the priest collar here, and just, like, I mean, this was, like, really fun period, reading Spider-Man in real time in this era. Like, so much fun, and just, like, the McFarlane art is just so crazy good. Like, could not wait. And, like, even in the summer, it went, like, bi-weekly, which was, like, a gift from heaven. I mean, it's just goes to show how much McFarlane, like, loves art. And I feel like, you know, he famously, like, sent out 300 packages, you know, submissions for comics. And before he got, like, I think Coyote was, like, his first gig, and then it wound up getting canceled. There's some, you know, he had a lot of false starts, and his dedication. And, you know, I mean, he honestly, you know, like I said, the potential and, like, the dynamism, like, I feel like the imaginative layouts and stuff have been sort of there since the beginning, but the aesthetic of it has definitely gotten better. you know, some of the anatomy's wonky, but I mean, it's definitely gotten better over the years. And, you know, he comes from sort of the tail end of the era, and you know, and I would put George Perez, and even John Byrne in the same category. I mean, I feel like, you know, doing a monthly comic, I feel like that's why the artists of that era existed and were able to exist, because you know, everybody says there's such an enigma, and in a way they were. I mean, it's crazy to, but if that's your job and you make it your job and you're dedicated to it, and you have a family to feed and you're not freaking distracted by the internet all day long, you know, you're doing 9 to 5. I mean, John Byrne treats penciling like, you know, like a 9 to 5 job. He has a specific schedule and he sits there and he does it, and he busts out his 1 or 2 pages. I mean, he is an enigma, mind you. But imagine, like, doing this consistently every day for on a monthly schedule. First of all, I mean, it does seem like really hard to keep up with, especially when he's doing penciling and inking at the same time with this level of detail. I mean, he must be just chained to the art desk, but totally killing it. I mean, I love it. I really love the art at this time, and it was so exciting. And I feel such great nostalgia looking at it. Comic book art really gets me in the feels, you guys, and makes me so nostalgic. And yes, perhaps maybe a little weepy sometimes. I mean, I just love it, you know. And I do realize that now. I think that a lot of it is the nostalgia. This looks like it's inked by someone else. Maybe a Joe Rubinstein. Yeah, definitely Joe Rubinstein. And, you know, looking at it this size, I like it a lot better. That's the other benefit of these artist editions. You see the artist's true intentions, because a lot of time it's lost in the printing. And I was not a huge fan of Joe Rubinstein's inks on Todd McFarlane. It felt a lot less polished, and you know, I mean, he's a great inker. You know, he inked John Byrne very well on Captain America, and he's a legend. I think he inked Frank Miller's, you know, Wolverine miniseries, which was a great combination. But you know, inkers aren't always perfect with other inkers. But what I'm trying to say in a very long-winded fashion is that I didn't care for it at the time. It looks better seeing it like this. Still not my favorite combination, but it looks okay. Okay. Oh, I mean, yeah, you can see, and see, that was the only downside of the bi-monthly during Christmas, or I mean during the summer. I apologize. I know my seasons. Come on, look at that spaghetti webbing. So here's an interesting note about the spaghetti webbing is that I think a lot of people give McFarlane credit, but there's a Michael Golden poster, famous Marvel superheroes poster from like the late 70s, early 80s perhaps, where Spider-Man has the spaghetti webbing. And it's not even 100% that he's the one who came up with it. But I definitely think McFarlane gets credit for making it look, you know, like its own character. I mean, that's like crazy all over the place, you know. And that's like one of the beauties of McFarlane's art that I love so much. Is like his, just, I don't know, his storytelling is so good. And the composition, like there's such great composition. Like I just feel like it's very instinctual. And I think that Spider-Man's weird, like buggy anatomy and appearance was such a great like playground for McFarlane's art to sort of evolve and grow even further. You know, I mean, Hulk was amazing. I freaking love Hulk. I mean, we all know that freaking cover with Wolverine and Hulk's reflection in his claws. I mean, I have that poster on my bedroom door. I think I had it on the inside bedroom door. And I freaking loved it. You know, so iconic. That's what it is about McFarlane's art, is like I feel in a way, it's funny because it looks like, God, I just love the inking here. It looks so cool. I love seeing the blue pencils underneath too. That is so much fun. I mean, because look at this perspective. I mean, McFarlane is really giving a lot of, like, this is why, you know, Spider-Man was such a huge hit, and that's why when Spider-Man 1 by McFarlane launches, like, it's selling like gangbusters, and that's why Spawn sold so much. This is such great, fun comic book art. It's just so classic and iconic. I mean, look at this. Like, who is this character? Even Killer Shrike, or what the hell is this character's name? But whatever this character's name is, that cape is iconic. That is so cool. That is like, oh yeah, let least we forget. I forget that McFarland did some Batman too, which was really, really fun and really good looking. I mean, McFarland blossomed quite well, and just, I don't know. You know, sadly, I feel like we've missed out. Like, how often do we get McFarlane comic books? Not very often. I mean, he inked a lot of Spawn after he quit penciling, and I know the monthly grind, but for what, Todd? A toy company? I don't know. I don't know. Like, but I feel like he's never stopped drawing, like, personally or something. I don't know. Anyway, I want more Todd McFarlane Spawn, is what I'm saying. Or more Todd McFarlane art, rather. You know, it would be really cool. Here we go, guys. Here we go with my ideas, my pitches. Loving, like, forgive my pause here, but at least you get to look at Mary Jane dressed as Cleopatra, which probably is, I don't know, culturally appropriating. Is she Cleopatra, or is she just a rando Greek goddess? I think it's a Greek goddess. I don't know. Either way, I guess it's probably cultural appropriation by today's standards. But what is she gonna play? I don't know. It's acting, people. Okay, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I don't even know. But this art is killer. Sorry, I even distracted myself. Oh my god, I never understood, what do you call it? Norman Osborn's hair. But I feel like I've had this conundrum recently, and someone showed me a picture of like real version of that hair, or somebody posted it somewhere, and it scared me. Like, it's, imagine that as real life hair, and it's so funny. I mean, it is pretty iconic, right? I mean, look how awesome that Green Goblin was. You know those Miko figures? When my brother and I were little, he had Spider-Man, I had Captain America, and he had Lizard, and I had Green Goblin, and I freaking loved my Green Goblin Miko doll so much. You have no idea. But he looks so cool. And is that Hobgoblin? See, that was like such a cool period with those kinds of stories right there. And I love David Michelini's writing. I mean, he was like my Spider-Man writer. So, but I mean, whatever. Todd was fine writing his own his own stuff. I did love the Spider-Man title on his own. I mean, I think they're both brilliant. That is so cool. Look at all that webbing. I mean, this is, oh man, this is like why people just like love Todd McFarlane so much. I mean, there's just so much comic book fun, but there's like this edge to it too. You know what I mean? Like the hyper detail sort of looks almost punk rock, like a little edgy, a little cartoonish, you know, a little almost indie, which is kind of ironic for him to go and create, you know, co-create one of the, well, the most successful independent comic book publishers. It's hard. I mean, like, would you even call them an independent comic book publisher now? I guess so, right? Look at Eddie Brock and his dad bod. That is, see, I'm kind of wanting dad bod Venom now that I see that. Although he looks a little more muscular there. Interesting. What's happening? Is it just inconsistency in art? Or what is that? Like, look how iconic J. Jonah Jameson is with his Adolf mustache there. I mean, for the love of God, hilarious. I mean, if you're going to paint someone as a villain, Stan Lee, I think that's the way to do it. Was that, although I guess, I don't know if that was mandated in the description, or Steve Ditko probably came up with all of that, right? I'm sure he did. I love the face on Venom. Let's face it, Venom would not be Venom without Todd McFarlane. I did love Eric Larson's follow-up with that grotesque tongue and everything, but Hydro Man, that is fun. I love that. He looks like, I don't know, 50s, 60s surfer dude kind of weirdness. I don't know, so much fun. I love just the inking here, like, to like his creating the water with the bubbles, and I don't know. It's just so good, you guys. I love this art so much. Like this, I feel like this was. I think I got it on sale for $135. Maybe it was $150 with shipping from Target, or was it free shipping? Either way, I paid like $150 total, worth every penny. This is like having an art education, and that's why I love these books so much. You can learn so much. It gave me such a new appreciation for anchors, and just like when you see the level of artistry happening here, it's just kind of awe-inspiring. Love this page. This is such a great page. And see, is this all Rick Parker here with this like scratching and hatching and all this on the letters? Because that is why I think he is such a good match for the McFarlane art, because he really leans into it. Although sometimes that's done by the artist. So, good question, right? Todd McFarlane, I want to interview you. Come on my show. I think he would. He seems pretty generous and enthusiastic about comics and people who support comic book channels. And I do nothing but love and support comic books, you guys. Like, who wouldn't want to own this? I mean, it's humongous AF, and I'm going to have trouble storing it. But I don't know. I've got, like, chills looking at this. That is so cool. I love that. Obviously, like, that's a photocopy of, like, an aerial view of New York City. But I don't think... Did McFarlane live in New York at the time? I don't know. I mean, I know he's, like, West Coast now, but yeah, I mean, didn't he? He definitely had to come from New York or New Jersey or something like that. I feel, if I remember correctly. Do your homework, MFT. Look at how awesome that is. That is so cool. Oh my god, I was totally living. Me and my brother just freaking loved Spider-Man at this time. I mean, we've always loved Spider-Man because, of course, what's not to love? Spider-Man is one of those great-ass characters who's just had, like, several amazing, no pun intended. Look how cool the art is on this page. I'm living for it. That is also one of the things I love the most about Marvel Comics and Spider-Man. Having never been to New York, I'm ashamed to admit, but I've just always been in love with cityscapes, and the way they're drawn by different artists have just always influenced me so much in my own art, and I just always love it. I always used to throw the Baxter Building into the background for my numerous submissions to Marvel Comics. Scorpion, that's what I love too. I love when they brought the classic villains into the storyline. Like, so much fun. Spider-Man has this, like, really tremendous rogues gallery. I do definitely think you can measure a superhero's worth compared to, like, how good their rogues gallery is. I think that's, like, I mean, Batman would be Batman either way, right? I mean, he's Batman. But, I mean, you throw in his rogues gallery and stop it. But that's what I love about Spider-Man so much. Especially, I think it was when I had, like, maybe as a teenager, finally gotten, like, the Spider-Man Masterworks first edition and, like, read the first, I don't know, what was it, 7, 10, I don't know, whatever issues of Spider-Man. And they are freaking amazing. It is hit after hit. I feel that honors it quite well. I think that this is a good, like, progression and such a great footnote. I freaking love the inking. Like, this is why Todd McFarlane is so fun as well. I mean, this is just, like, the side character and the helicopter, and, like, it's freaking amazing. Helicopter action. Like, when you see this up close, it is so cool. And it says, like, blades here in pencil and up to blades, and just, like, little notes about the art. I just love the thoughtfulness to that. Like, the little shine on Scorpion's metallic, like, sort of revision here. I just love, like, the little, like, the artistic touches that, make artists, like, knowing to, sort of have the lines be lighter because you were looking through glass now, just to create that effect. Like, it's such great comic book art and such great cartooning. I just love it so much. That is so fun. I love the way that he drew Peter Parker and MJ. I do. I mean, honestly, I feel like more sort of, I don't know. I mean, is there room for both? Of course there is. I mean, I was totally fine with this at the time. I loved this. Like, it didn't bother me that they were married and that, you know, she was a supermodel and all that stuff. I do kind of like, you know, my Spider-Man a little more angsty, I suppose. But look at that lettering. That is sick. I love it. Like, look at this great, like, explode off the page shot of Spider-Man there. That is so good. Rhino. I mean, this is the gift that keeps on giving, folks. MJ working out in this classic, like, 80s aerobics outfit. Hysterical. A must-see. Full-on nipples through the costume. But see, like, I just love the finish. Like, I clearly think, and I'm sure he mentioned it before, that McFarlane must have used a rapidograph for a lot of this inking, because there's so many, like, little fine lines that I don't think you're going to get those with a crow quill unless you're a deft master of the crow quill, like my good friend Don Simpson, who is an amazing inker. Check out his freaking YouTube channel and watch the man ink left-handed with a crow quill, and it looks like he's inking with a brush. It is a lesson in inking for sure. Look at the page, how yellow that is. Oh my god. Well, because this page probably got a lot of use. I mean exposure. I mean, I'm gonna stop right there. I love that page, that panel so much for so many reasons. She looks very, like, almost Omaha the Cat Dancer, so feline-esque. I was gonna say felinous, but I don't think that's a word. That sounds X-rated. Great lettering, more great lettering. How cool is this? This book is like fire. This book is so good. Is his name Paladin? I'm loving the art, just the depth. You know, I often say this about John Byrne and George Perez, you know, like, they are masters of rubble. And I feel like that's, when I talk about comic book art, you know, I feel like my channel is very much about art, you know, and I'm trying to impress upon you what I know or what I feel about comic book art, and now as a comic book artist myself. But you have to know how to draw it all, and that's why not everyone is a good comic book artist. You have to know how to draw rubble. Todd McFarlane knows how to draw rubble, people. Look at that beautiful rubble. Rubble, rubble, rubble. Silver Sable, I love that character. I had her solo book. I might have done a video on her issues. I think I did. Love the character. Has she been... Where would they put her? They wouldn't put her in a Spider-Man movie, would they? Has she been in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? My sister would know. I'll have to ask her. But love the character. I think she would translate to the big screen very well. I don't know. Sometimes, wow. I mean, that is, like, so cool. I love, like, just jaw-dropping people. Like, see how you can see how, like, it's aged. Like, some, I don't know if it's, like, you know, because when you're inking, especially back in this era, you're using so many different things. I would imagine, like, sometimes, like, this might have been done with a marker that did not age well, is my suspicion, but I'm not 100%. Anyway, I just love this art. It looks so good. Oh my god, Captain America. I'm dying. Aunt May. I mean, how much more iconic does it get than Aunt May? And I love this panel here. That is so cool. Spidey's face looks awesome. He looks so good there. Love that. Whoever owns this original art, you are some lucky people, because this stuff is beautiful. And, like, I don't know. It's just, like, really, really cool to see it like this. I mean, look at that ink work. I mean, just seeing it in black and white would be exciting enough. But then you get these, oh god, and here's the Hulk. Like, look how cool that is. Todd McFarlane, artist. Yes, you are. I remember, I mean, I feel like I can see the covers in my head with Hulk and Cap and Spidey. Maybe they'll be in the back here or something. But, oh, like, what am I just, like, flipping past the pages? I mean, look how cool that is. I mean, anytime. See, oh my God, like here's my idea. See, I finally like my brain is like a hamster wheel. Like the idea will move around and eventually come back. So don't you worry. You know how Abrams did like the Alex Ross, what do you call it? Fantastic Four full circle book. Hulk versus Spider-Man by Todd McFarlane. Enough said. Okay. I mean, we got Mark Silvestri doing Deadly Duo, which is a Batman story, and Joker. I guess they have to team up. Like, I don't know how I feel about that, but Mark Silvestri is writing and drawing it, so I'm so freaking there for that. Like, I cannot wait. Like, that is gonna be fun. There's our end paper panel, and wow, like, that is so cool. You guys, it looks so good. This art is so sick. Oh my God, like Hulk, like out of the atmosphere, looking down on the planet. Oh my God, that is so cool. That is so cool right there. 100% not inked by Todd McFarlane, I'm gonna say, but very cool looking. Perhaps, maybe. I don't know. It looks a little different, you guys. Now we're moving on to Spider-Man. And I feel this is when the art gets bigger, so this is why we needed the bigger pages, okay? And it's so worth it. Look at that freaking lizard. This is insane, right? Like, I mean, it was just like fever pitch when he went on to Spider-Man, adjectiveless Spider-Man, with the doom, doom, doom. I mean, perhaps not the strongest writer in the beginning. I don't know. Has his writing gotten better on Spawn? I don't know. I mean, it was still hella entertaining. Great comic book stories, so... You know, not everything can be Alan Moore. Nor should it, should it? Look at that great panel there. That is amazing. You talk about, like, New York buildings and skyline. That is so dope. And look at that lizard. I mean, dying. Like, so great. It can only get better, you guys. So just, you know, I know this is long, but... I'm trading you. I'm trading us. I'm trading myself. This is the first time I've really had an opportunity to look through it extensively. So bear with me. Oh my God, look how cool that panel is. Like that whole page is just so dope. I love it. So good. So good. Love his eye peeking through. That is so amazing. Great shot of the lizard there. Look at those fangs. Jesus, Lord have mercy. Like Spidey's exposed throat. Perhaps, or, yeah, I mean, come on. That is so cool. I mean, yeah, actually, I mean, come on. His writing actually was actually pretty good. I was back for more. That is so cool. I love it. It was so stylish and just, like, groundbreaking. It felt just different and fresh and just, like, you know, I mean... This is, like, one of the heights of, like, comic book art and comic book art history, you know? I think that the art definitely stands the test of time and just looks so amazing. And it is so cool to see this up close. And I always love a Spidey with, like, a ripped, exposed mask. I think that... I love this voodoo lady. Like, she's like sort of like a female Craven the Hunter or something. Oh my God. And then you get this double page spread of like Ghost Rider bursting onto the scene with the Hobgoblin. I mean, this is a little bit more than I think I can take. Like, this looks so cool. I love this one page here. The very like, a window here to see like what we would get in Spawn. Love this panel here. Love the hatching. Like, that looks so different. Like, it stands out. I mean, I definitely think this is a different inker. It looks kind of Dan Panosian-esque, definitely, for sure. But very cool. I love it. It's kind of different and works well. This is so cool. Disturbing, like, is that a child's body, I guess? I don't know, but, like, disturbing. But a very cool shot at Wendigo. Very cool Spider-Man right there. I mean, this is his book after all. Yeah, we're definitely like in somebody else's inks right here. Jim and the word story in JJ's first balloon. But look how cool that is. I love it. I mean, you know, it's like drawing somebody like Spider-Man. You have to keep it fresh and like for yourself, not just and the readers and for yourself. So cool. Love that shot of Wendigo. One of the coolest characters, right? That is such a great shot there too. Oh my god. Like, this is definitely an example of why these books are so great. What an awesome Wolverine. This looks like a dope page out of somebody's like high school notebook or something in a way. But I just think it looks so cool. Yeah, see, I think this is definitely like maybe somebody else's inks. But I'm liking them. They're very different. But I feel like seeing them like this is better than the way they were printed. Yeah, I mean, that looks so different, doesn't it? Obviously. Oh, Scott Williams. Like, that looks so cool. No wonder. Was it Scott? Was it Agatha all along? Was it? I mean, how cool is this? And of course, I always point this out, but this points out, like, before Marvel's no smoking ban in comic books. Look at all the detail on that face. That looks so cool. I mean, he's doing so much with, like, ink work there. It almost looks like duo shade, and it's not. It's just, like, inks. It looks so good. I mean, yes. Yes, because Rick Magyar inks and McFarlane. I mean, it actually looks pretty good. Of course, we'd prefer McFarlane inking himself, but you can't have it all. Morbius. Spider-Man Back in Black. Remember that? Such a great, I think I covered it. If you go through my list of comic reviews and other entries. Here we go to the covers already. Did I glaze through that too quick? Are you guys dying? I mean, go buy a copy. Losers. I'm just kidding. Very cool, right? Love that shot. A black costume Spider-Man. So cool. This is very like Kraven the Hunter. I love it. Did we see we haven't seen any Kraven, and it, like, a Todd McFarlane Kraven would be so cool. I know he's done it. He's had to have. All these covers are so awesome. I loved this Mysterio cover. That was so cool. Oh my god, that lizard cover is so awesome. Green Goblin. This was like so fun when all these came out. I mean, it was just like hit after hit after hit. It was like amazing time to be collecting comics and to get these hot off the rack. I mean, could you imagine? So good. I mean, does that not just give you chills seeing that up like that? I'm thinking that's not like the original. It looks like a copy of a photostat. I wonder if they did not have the original available. Some collectors, famously Terry Austin, is sitting on his X-Men pages and won't let them be done in this fashion. He feels it will diminish their worth. I feel he's robbing us of history, but whatever. It's his choice. He can do whatever the hell he wants. It's his prerogative. But these are so cool. I love seeing like some of the, covers that were not part of the actual Spider-Man run that still were Spider-Man like that he did, because not 100% aware of all of these, and that is so cool. Very cool. Love that. And then the X-Men. Too bad. I mean, a little rushed, perhaps. I mean, I would have loved to seen him draw the actual X-Men, but, Oh, there they are. Thank you. Thanks, universe. See how the universe does that? The power of suggestion is something else. And, I mean, how cool. Oh, my God. Iceman and Spider-Man. Where's Firestar when you need her? Did he ever do a Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends? I mean, come on, Todd. You want to... Oh, no, Abrams. I don't know. You can make it happen. A Spawn Spider-Man. Have we seen that? I don't think we have we? We haven't. We saw Batman and Spawn, but I don't know. Is anything possible? I can't believe we're almost over. Juggernaut. How dope is that? And then the Holy Grail. There it is, as mentioned. And once again, I'm feeling like that might not... Is it? I think yes. I mean, the cover that launched 1,000 ships. And of note... And Bob Wiacek did an amazing job. I love Bob Wiacek, and I feel like this is a perfect example of why Bob Wiacek is good. Because when he inks someone, I feel like he makes it look as close to their pencils as it's going to be if their pencils were reproduced. And I think that looks great. I love it. What a great way to end. This book is amazing. You guys need to check it out. Oh, that is so cool. well done. This book is amazing. So good. I enjoyed this so much. It is beautiful from cover to cover, as usual. I will be talking to you soon, Scott Dunbier, and asking you about this amazing collection. It is beautiful. I cannot wait for the Michael Golden and the Kevin Nolan. Until then, this bitch is huge and beautiful and amazing. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and I'll bring you more later.